Hi, this is Srinivas, Tamada, founder of 9lesson.info. Today I'm going to explain how to implement routing for the React Native applications. Like, here is 3 tabs, like you can connect with the 3 pages and you can do like navigation with like different pages. Like, let's continue because, okay, let me change this to news page. So I'm going to create like news and about pages. So let me uh, let me hide all the stuff. Okay, I'm just creating a folder called pages. So inside the pages I'm going to create a new file called news.js. It's for the news component, and the one more called about.js. So I'm going to replace the same code here, or like for the news. Instead of this I'm going to use news, and the component name I'm changing to news. And here, like, it's a content. You watch my previous videos, you will understand why I'm using content. It's a native base component, so I'm using content here, importing that from the native base. Now saving. Now the same way I'm going to create like the about as well. So changing this to about, and the about. So now we created these 2 pages. We need to like implement routing. So for that you need to install a React Native router flex component. I mean, you will get it from the packages. So you have to install a proper like use npm install React Native router and flex, and this is the stable version 3.38.0. Don't use this one works very well because the newer version creating so many problems, so use this. So I already installed that. If you see my package.json, so I install this. So if you install any new packages, try to restart the server, so then only it will replicate the changes here. So now we need to link everything with this. We need to import all the pages here. So let me import pages, because whatever you're going to create, you had to import here. Like, let me import news page from like src components and pages slash news, and the same way import about page from same location, like src components and pages slash news, about. Yeah, we imported these right now, and we need to import the routing as well. So the routing component I'm going to import here, like the main one. So import from the thing is React Native Flex, and here I'm going to import router and scene. So now we imported. So we need these two to import this. So let me save, and now so instead of a header file, I'm going to use the new router. So let me save. If you see this, I'm going to drop off the header here, and here I'm going to import like router and the router. So here you need to define the scenes, like how many pages you have. So this is the structure for that, and use the scene, and you need to specify a key for every scene and then what component you're going to connect. So here we have different components like news, about, and the body is this because we need to rename it. But anyway, like, let me complete this. So I'm just giving some title, like, for just your reference, like feed. I'm just closing this tag. So here I'm going to import first of all, so this feed is actually connected to this app body. Just watch my previous video, will understand why I named it as app body. If you want, you can rename to feed this one, and these two files you can move it to the pages. But anyway, right now I'm just call it as like app body component I'm importing here, and let's call it as a feed. And then now the same one I'm repeating here, and this is news, and this scene is connected to here, and news, and about the same way, and about. This is a key, so I'll make it as a small. Okay, so now this is done now, and we need to link up these things with action for the footer. So the footer is here, we need to link all the actions here. So how are we going to implement this is like, so this is a button, so you can give like on press, or yeah, on press. And so here you're going to call like action dot feed. The feed is actually refers to this feed key. So the same way you can implement these other things like control C, and I'm pasting here, and the same way I'm pasting here, instead of feed I'm calling it as news and about. So make sure the proper names for the keys. So, and now you need to import this actions, sorry, this is actions. So you need to import these actions from the router package, like from React Native Flux and actions. So now, if you now you just, I'm going to test it right now. See, it's going to the news page and about page, and so this out. Okay, I did a mistake in the index drivers. Sorry, we don't want this. So by default we are loading the body, so that's why. Now if you see news, about, and feed, so if you see this, like because based on this the app body is loading anyway, so right now we need only in footer, so for controller. So now if you see three different, like let me give some names here, like let me give some text, text tag, and initially the problem is like, if you see, you're not able to see the text because the header is occupied. So I'm going to give some style here, style, you can give like this, and it's margin top some 75, and you will see the new page comes because it will give some margin for the page. The same way I'm going to implement this for about, like, and this is about page. And if you see now, it will go to the about page and news page and the feed page, and you can use the back button as well. It comes everything automatically. And now see, here is like, the activation, like whenever I click, so we can give the activation here, means changing the style. So by default, like wherever you give this active class in the using database, that impact here. See if you see this. So we need to play with this. So right now, like non-press, we are only making this actions, but instead of this we need to perform this as well. So let me how we're going to implement this. So that's why, like, so here we don't have any other option. So now I'm going to create a small function, like tab action, and I'll call it as like some tab name. So let me give like 3 different conditions, like tab equal to feed. So the same way, like, and we may else if tab to news, and else rest of the things. So instead of here, I'm going to call this feed here and use this way. So that, because it's again it's going to be a function here. So the same way here, it's actually news. And here there's another one like about, and the same thing, news. So now I'm going to connect with this tabs action. So this way you can do it. So connecting any function, like in React syntax is like this dot tab action, and you can pass the key. So it's called feed. The same way, like I'm duplicating this with all other stuff like news and about. This is news and about. So if you see this, and about and feed and news, it's coming. Now we have a control to do this, like we can control action class here, like, so let me do it. So we can control this, like we need to implement the state object, because whenever you change the state, based on that we can enable the active. So let me use a constructor, and inside I'm going to call super. I explain why I'm going to, because this is going to initiate the main parent this. So state, I'm just creating a state value, like active tab. So for example, name, it's called, by default I'm giving feed, because whenever you launch the page, it will set to the active tab value is feed. Now, so we need to make it active tab true, like whenever if equal to this. So anyway, so this is active, and here I'm going to link up with the state. So I'm going to write like this dot state, this state dot active tab name equal to let me close this, equal to, like, it's like a small if check, like feed, the key value is feed means true, else empty. So this is what I'm going to, because whenever the value is set to feed, so this active will be true, or else it will be false. The same way I'm going to do this for other stuff, other things, like, so here it will be news, and here it will be about. So, and now I need to enable this, like, no need to worry about this, like we need to reload this page, because so now by default it is a feed, so it will comes here feed, and this equal to feed, that's why it's true, this is true now. So whenever I click this, I need to make it active, means I need to change the state value. So you can set the state here, like this dot set state. So we need to set the state value, like this is what the state value, colon, so this tab value, so I'm assigning here. So now what will happen is whenever I click the tab action, the value setting here, so the state values keep changing. Whenever I click the news, the state value set it to news. Let me see now, if you see this, whenever I'm clicking it, it's changing now. Yeah, this is how you can implement the, activate the classes. Okay, so now come to the things. If you see, by default header is coming, like it's router flex, it will give you the by default headers. But if you have a like a better header, like, because I explained you how to create a header, so we have a header component as well here, like I created with my logo, everything. So if you want, like for the first page, if you want, you can display this, like, so how you're going to do this is, like there is an option, like if you want, you can hide the nav bars, like hide nav bar equal to true. If I give this, let me reload this. It's clicking, by clicking command you can reload it. See, now there is no header, like so because I made it like like true, or like I'm hiding the header. If you see other things, you need to specify that as well, like false, otherwise this will not understand. So now if you see this, here is a header and the default header, but here I just dropped off. So here, like I'm going to, like this is a body, so let me import that file here, because this is my content. So here is my article. So yeah, let me import the header here. So because this is the content part, so the like native base is giving a different way, like before you need to initiate a container. So container, and I'm going to give the container here close tag. So this container I need to import from the native base. Let me see, so I'm importing here. So I imported container, and we need to import this header as well. So import this app header, so like app header from it's both are in the same location, so dot app header. So this component I'm going to import after, before the content, like app header. Let's save it and see. If you see this, for this page I have a header with a logo, and if you see other pages, like news and about. So hope you understand this, like If you want, you can add different things here, like modifying this, and you can do whatever you want here, like about and news. Yep, this is what the router. Maybe next time I'm going to come up with a new one. Hope you'll enjoy this video. Thanks.